Okay, so most of this initial stuff everybody here is going to be familiar with, especially the first part. Maybe, maybe not the CW section next. Okay. Where's slide? So we're going to talk a little about SSB phone operation, upper sideband, lower sideband conventions, how to make a contact, how to break into a contact, what you need to do before you make a contact, and Vox. Anybody use Vox? So everybody knows what single sideband is. You only transmit one sideband, either upper or lower, and no carrier. Reason is get all your power into that one sideband, so you get more power per hertz. So which mode of voice communication is most commonly used on HF bands?
Sure.
Which of the following statements is true of single sideband? Baker.
Yes.
Which of the following is an advantage when using single sideband compared to other analog voice modes?
It's not free.
Huh?
They use that for
Especially on single sideband. Okay, so you can choose either upper or lower. The convention is based on some historical stuff, something to do with 9 megahertz. So the convention is upper sideband above 10 megahertz, lower sideband below. There are exceptions, and it's only a convention. It's not a requirement. Which sideband is most commonly used on frequencies of 14 megahertz or higher? Which mode's commonly? Go ahead. Which mode's most commonly used on 17 and 12 meter bands? Which the following is used for single sideband voice on VHF and UHF? Which of the following modes is most commonly used for 160, 75, and 40 meter bands? These are hard. Of course, this is general. You don't have to worry about it.
Oh, man. Now, one thing I can answer.
Well, see, that means you know it. Why do most amateur stations use lower sideband on 160, 75, and 40?
So you have two answers that just make sense at all.
Okay. To make a contact, you either call CQ or replying to a CQ. The exception is if it's DX and you do CQ DX. I haven't done DX, so I'm just assuming they're correct. Is that how you do DX? We don't have any DXers? Well, contest is different though. So if you're doing DX, it means that you don't respond to any station in the lower 48. And I assume that means Hawaii and Alaska are fair game for DX.
So is all this hinging around the United States? Oh, well, this is for the United States. Never mind.
Right. If you're in the United States.
You're in the United States. If somebody's in France.
Right.
Okay.
Or Canada or Mexico, they're DX.
Okay. So call this
Generally, who should respond to a station in the contiguous 48 states calling CQs?
You have the answer.
Chuck.
And establish contact in progress. Oh, to break in, you're supposed to listen for a lull and then just say your call sign once, and if they're nice, they'll let you in, if they hear you. No, that's CB. I'm sure people do. And people probably say their call sign more than once.
Yeah, well, maybe that it isn't real clear. I mean, usually you say your call.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised, but I guess you do it once and then you wait. Yeah,
But this is not a rule.
right.
Yeah, sometimes just people are so fast that before you.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it takes a second to have it close.
Yeah, usually I hear those stations, and one of them will be S9 and the other one will be S2.
Yeah.
And despair. Even tell somebody. What is the recommended way to break into a phone contact? Okay, setting the proper ALC level, especially on digital modes, you want to, but on phone, you have to adjust it by phone gain or the basically microphone gain. There's like mod level, like on some of the ICOMs, which also affects it. And if your microphone gain or the other, your audio basically is too high, you're going to overmodulate and create spurs and splatter, and your audio won't sound too good. What controls typically adjusted for proper ALC setting on amateur single sideband transceivers? Many operators prefer to use voice-operated control instead of push-to-talk. It allows hands-free. I guess if you're mobile, might be good. I have one that I haven't tried. It's a little Bluetooth thing that you can do it with. You just have to, well, it's not exactly Vox. You toggle it. You push the button and it's push-to-talk is on until you push the button again.
Oh.
Which of the following statements is true of voice Vox operation versus push-to-talk operation? Okay, so single sideband is the most used phone mode. We know about upper and lower sideband convention, how to establish a contact, how to break in, how to make sure your audio gain is set up properly, and use Vox for hands-free.